This is Kim and Shannon.
Are you newly engaged and don't know where to start?
Have you been planning for a while and are ready to elope?
Don't stress, we've got your back.
We are From Ring to Veil,
Your wedding planning heroes. Where to propose and other fun stuff, episode number 208.
Take a moment, pause, and subscribe to the show.
Have you heard about our Facebook group, the From Ring to Veil Wedding Planning Community? Go check us out. Search us on Facebook, answer a couple of questions to get into our little secret society here, and then get all kinds of advice from all kinds of people.
Our timelines and checklists are flying off the shelf. You can find them at fromringtoveil.com/checklists. It is 25 plus pages of goodies, timelines, checklists. It's all very simple and easy, nothing too frilly and try to figure out. It's just very simple and to the point. $3.99. So it's a very good resource to help you get started if you're not started yet, or to keep you going if you've already started. So check it out from ringtoveil.com/checklists.
Today, we are talking about where to get engaged, where to propose. And we're going from around the world to the U.S.
We also have some other fun stuff, weird wedding stuff, a listener question, things like that. So stay tuned for the whole thing because it's going to be fun.
So the links to all of these articles that we're talking about are on our show notes. So go to fromringtoveil.com/208 and you can find the links, click on them. I'll just take you there because we're only giving you a few. We're not giving you all of them.
Yeah. Instead of reading the articles for you verbatim, we've pulled out our favorite stuff. To get started, our first link takes you to the most popular places in the world to propose.
Right. There were 16 of them. We're giving you 10. The first one is, and I wouldn't put this first, but I guess people like to get engaged there. Central Park, New York.
And why wouldn't you put that as number one?
Because I would rather go somewhere else than Central Park, New York.
Okay. Number 2 is really kind of cool. The Eiffel Tower, Paris. Yes.
That would have been closer to,
Number 1 for you?
Yeah.
Okay.
Number 3, again, in New York, the Brooklyn Bridge.
Well, it's very iconic, just like the Eiffel Tower.
Yeah, it's iconic.
Where the Eiffel Tower is romantic, Brooklyn Bridge, I don't know.
The Grand Canyon, just number 4, I can see that.
Yeah, that's quite spectacular, yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Number 5, Santorini.
That's in Greece.
In Greece.
That would be cool.
For us, they're probably like, eh.
I've always wanted to go to Greece.
That's the iconic white with blue roofs and all right, on the ocean. I mean, come on, that's pretty romantic.
Santorini is awesome. Anyway, the pictures I've seen anyway.
Of course,
I've never been there.
Yes.
The Colosseum in Rome is number 6.
That one I'm not sure.
Yeah. I would rather maybe do the Trevi Fountain or the Spanish Steps or, with the Trevi Fountain was down further on the list, so.
What's interesting about that is the Colosseum is usually, like, if you think about it, it's going to be full of tourists. It's not a very romantic place, especially with its history.
Yeah.
So I'm not really sure about that one. All right, but number 7, the Tower Bridge in London, which is a really pretty bridge. Why are all these bridges showing up? That's kind of interesting.
Because they're over water, I guess, but the River Thames is not that nice. But the Tower Bridge is awesome.
It's very pretty.
Yeah. There's a couple of in London on the list, so you could take your pick there. If you want to get married in London.
Get engaged.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, get engaged in London. Excuse me.
Mm-hmm.
Number 8 is the Sydney Opera House. Can you get engaged on top of the Sydney Opera House?
I don't know. Could you?
Yeah, I'm not going to Australia, so y'all could do that.
We love you guys, but...
Yeah, there's too many poisonous animals and insects there. I ain't going. Sorry.
It's scary. That's scary. The Louvre in Paris.
That would be nice.
It's what? A museum?
It's a museum, but it has the iconic glass pyramid that you can get married or engaged in front of. I keep saying married. Sorry.
Well, yeah, that's what we get used to.
You can get engaged in front of.
Or the steps, because don't they have a lot of steps there? Like right in the front, walking up to the front. But yeah, I agree with that one. That was pretty good. Paris is just anywhere probably in Paris. It'll be pretty good.
Well, in the touristy parts of Paris.
There you go.
Yeah. The parts they keep clean.
And that goes for any area.
Yeah. So, number 10 in Lake Louise, Hamlet, Alberta, Canada.
Okay, I'd have to look that up because I don't know what that looks like at all.
Maybe it's in front of a lot of mountains.
I'm not really sure. We'd have to look that up. But so I'm surprised of the top 10, there's 3 in the U.S.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess I have to look up the pictures of Lake Louise, but I can think of a few very pretty places in Canada just over on this side. Like Victoria, they've got the Bouchard Gardens. Yeah, that is Bouchard, a beautiful place. That probably, for me, would be one of the best places.
Banff.
I mean, there's a ton of beautiful places in Canada, so I'm surprised that they didn't have more in the top 10.
So the next list is top places to propose in the U.S., and these are just cities.
Also, the link, if you go to the link, there is more information than what we'll give you, and it tells you where to propose in each city, but we can't say for sure. Yeah. Number 1, Chicago. That's the number 1 place to propose in the U.S.
On top of a skyscraper, yes. In front of the bean.
Sure.
You have your reflection on the bean. Somebody can take a bean. I guess you could see that.
There's Buckingham Fountain. There's tons of places in Chicago. There's Lakeside. Lakeside is a lot like the ocean side because you cannot see across it. So I mean, there's some pretty good places.
It's a big, sports town. So I guess if you're a big sports fan, you can go get engaged at the traditional thing on the billboard, the scoreboard, whatever.
Jumbotron or whatever it's called.
Baseball, football, hockey, basketball, you got all kinds of choices there. Mm-hmm. Number 2 is Nantucket in Massachusetts. I can see that. It's quaint. There's beaches. There's little cottages.
It's a beach town.
Yeah.
Super cute.
It's an island. You have to fly or take a ferry. So, I mean,
You know what they say about Nantucket. Anyway, number 3 is New York City, which I'm surprised was not number 1 because on the last list, Central Park was number 1. So
there's tons of places in New York City. Rockefeller Center, iconic things.
In front of the big tree at Christmas would be so romantic.
If you're a book fan, you can get engaged in front of the Alice in Wonderland statue in Central Park.
Tons of places.
Number 4 is Austin, which I'm surprised about.
Yeah.
I mean, we have a lot of cute things. You can get engaged when the bats fly over.
Mm-hmm. Which I don't know if that's real romantic, but yeah, you could.
Yeah. The bats eating insects, you get engaged. There you go. You can get engaged on a duck tour on Lake Travis or Lake Austin, excuse me.
Mm-hmm. Ladybird Lake, whatever.
Yeah.
But they also, the Capitol building in Austin is one of the prettiest ones that you've ever seen. And it's got huge lawns, huge trees. That would be a really pretty place to do an engagement.
Or in front of the tower at UT when it's lit up orange. Mm-hmm. If you're a UT fan.
So there's plenty of places to get married in Austin. Or get engaged, there you go, in Austin.
Number 5 is Boston. I've never been there, so I
have.
Tell you.
I have. And again, tons of places, a lot of history. So if you're history fans, you could probably get engaged at some of those places. But again, like all these huge cities, there's nooks and crannies everywhere. Mm-hmm. Tons of beautiful places, buildings, waterfronts, all that kind of stuff. Yeah. Number 6, San Francisco.
I like San Francisco. Well, I used to like San Francisco. There's parks, there's Ghirardelli Square, there's the the bridge. There's
piers,
trolleys.
Alcatraz.
Eh.
If it's your thing.
Number 7's LA, Los Angeles.
I've never been.
Mm-mm.
I've just seen it in the movies.
Yeah.
Seems like there would be a lot of places that you could get engaged.
Hollywood sign, the McDonald, whatever that observatory is, that's all famous. The beach.
Sorry, you don't know more about LA.
Honolulu.
Yeah. I'm thinking pretty much any beach would do. Right?
They're so crowded though.
Are they?
I would say more like Maui or, something like that. Hana, the road to Hana,
Anywhere
something.
up in there, yeah.
But I guess you could do Diamond Head, maybe on the other side of the island of Oahu. It's quieter.
Possibly. I don't know.
Number 9's Philadelphia, PA.
Again, like Boston, right? History.
Yeah, lots of history. So if you're a history buff. And lots of sports teams like Boston, too.
True.
And number 10 is Charleston. There's tons of places there. I've been there. It's nice. Hot and sticky.
Uh-oh. And so number 11, in my opinion, should be the Seattle area. Anywhere in Washington, really. I mean, there's a ton of places to get engaged. If you want to go up on a mountain, we got that. If you want to go in the forest, we got that too. If you want the ocean or any kind of lake or river, we got all those. It's amazing place to get engaged and to get married, by the way.
So those are the top 10 of the places to get engaged in the U.S. Check the link out for more. I know there's more than 10, so. And the link we have is the best places to get engaged in every state.
Rather than going through, how many states do we have? I'm just kidding. Each and every one of those, we thought we'd pick out a few. I want to say this looks really cool. Alaska. Of course, they say Fairbanks. And there's a place called Chenna Hot Springs Resort near Fairbanks. And their big thing is the Northern Lights. Yeah. Is what they're kind of touting. That would be pretty awesome because I would love to see those. And I think, how romantic. How romantic would that be? Because that's really not once in a lifetime thing, but that's something that you don't see every day is those Northern Lights. I think that's pretty cool.
In California, they have Big Sur as the place to get engaged. And I can see that because the California coast is so gorgeous. The Northern California coast is gorgeous. So, and plus I like the oceans. So.
Oh, I mean, who doesn't? Come on.
Florida has a place called Honeymoon Island.
Really?
Yeah.
Interesting. Maine, it says Kennebunks in South Coastal Maine.
Kennebunkport.
It doesn't say that. It just says the Kennebunks. So that must be an area of it. Dock Square in the Kennebunks lights up with red twinkly lights every night during Valentine's Day, during February. Might be kind of cold during February, but
I know. I could.
It looks really pretty in the picture. So if you're looking for a place in Maine.
Mississippi, you can go to Biloxi, full of old Southern charm there.
In Montana. Now, this is a place we actually mentioned before, the resort at Paws Up. And it's just like a glamping place. You could go glamping and pop the question. That would be kind of fun. And it's kind of in the valley, I guess, because it's pretty flat there, but then you can see the mountains around it. Montana's really pretty. I just never realized that until visiting how pretty it was.
Oklahoma.
Okay.
On Broken Bow Lake in southeastern Oklahoma, you can charter a boat for a sunset sail.
Pretty. Yeah, it is pretty. Water and trees and brush or whatever that is. In Oregon, Samuel H. Boardman State Scenic Corridor. Okay, so just anywhere basically on the coastal line of, you've got the haystacks, you've got the beach. It's all very romantic.
Texas, it says the Fort Worth Water Gardens, which they're pretty cool, except you got lots of kids playing around in them.
Do you really?
Yeah.
I would kind of imagine that. Now, here's Washington's. It says the San Juan Islands. There is a stone tower at Mount Constitution on Orcas Island. Okay, I've not been out there, so I can't say yay or nay. But like I said, anywhere in Washington is pretty. You can turn anywhere almost, except for maybe in the inner city. But, you know, you go over to the peninsula, go into the rainforest, go up Hurricane Ridge. Just gorgeous places anyway. Shannon needs to come back and we need to go do that again. Go visit.
We got to notice that, what was it, 3 years ago, 2 years ago?
Yeah.
That we were on a road trip.
That's right. So those are just some of the places to get married in each of these states. Please, please visit these links again in the show notes. Should be right there on your listening app. Hopefully they have clickable links for you, which I'm finding more and more they're doing that. So I do know that Spotify, I don't think they have actually clickable links unless they've just updated. So anyway, check out the show notes and click these links and get a little more information.
So now on to weird wedding stuff. Okay, the first one is bride shares messy account of her family members turning up uninvited to her wedding. Now, we've told you many, many, many times that there will always be people that show up to your wedding that were that weren't invited or did not RSVP. This woman was mad.
As she has a right to be.
Right.
Although she should have expected it.
An entire faction of my husband's family, who we purposely not invited, just showed up. We ended up having to seat them. They did not get meals. Because I'm petty that way. Because our party had already started and I didn't want to ruin it. That's something you can do.
That's right.
You just seek them somewhere and just say, sorry, there's not enough food for you. You can't eat.
It's an option. It absolutely is an option.
You know, she continued to say they started to participate in some of the traditional dances that they should not have. That was her account. And another newlywed weighed in on her own tale. Says brother's ex-girlfriend behaved badly. She got drunk and I guess started spouting off stuff.
And she wanted to drive home but could barely walk. That's very... And that's not just annoying. It's like, that's scary because it could be dangerous.
Because it could come back on you as well. The next weird story.
Oh my gosh.
This one's gross. Kim,
this one freaks me out. And I was a hairdresser for years, so.
Kim kind of gagged on this one. Okay. The bride wanted her mother's hair. Her mother's deceased. She wanted her mother's hair incorporated in her wedding dress. So she was trying to find a designer who would make it for her.
Whew. That just...
She included a sketch. And she had hair fringe around the arms, the neckline, incorporated into the bodice, and on the bottom hem, she wanted hair fringe. Her mother must have had a lot of hair.
Yes, and how does that even look good?
I don't know.
How does it even look good? Oof. So far, at the time of this, she's not found somebody to do this. So I think it's just kind of too out of the box for somebody to want to do. You know what I mean? And they don't want to be known as the dressmaker that did that, you know?
Yeah. I'm the dressmaker who made a dress out of hair. Yay.
Yeah. I understand wanting to bring her mom into it and all that. I totally get that. And that's
she
sweet.
Could have just put a lock of her hair in a locket.
Yes. Or something hanging on her bouquet. Something. But her dress is just taking it too far, I think.
And why does she have all of her hair?
Yeah.
I think it was because she had cancer.
Oh, maybe.
They shaved it off. I don't remember, but anyway. Okay, so this is a new trend that's coming up, and I kind of thought it was weird. We want you to give your opinion.
Yes, please.
It's called a SOLOMOON. Okay, you can take it from the name what we're about to talk about. you get married, you go on a honeymoon. People are now getting married and going on different honeymoons separately.
So you can't really call it a honeymoon because it's not a honeymoon. It's basically a vacation away from each other.
Right.
Oh, jeez.
Why would you want to do that?
Yeah, I know. I don't get that at all. I mean...
Okay, so traditionally, the honeymoon is where you consummate the marriage, you know, and of course, way back when a honeymoon was, they call it a honeymoon because of the moon cycle, because, you know, you went away for 4 weeks or you stayed secluded for 4 weeks or whatever through the moon cycle so you can possibly get knocked up.
Right.
Okay. Traditional, long, old traditions.
Long, old traditions.
So...
But nowadays, it's just you know, you've gone through this huge, stressful time in planning this wedding, and then you have this wedding, and you have a party. Now you just want to take some time away from it all to, you know, to connect.
Right. And so I can see maybe after the honeymoon, taking like a weekend away.
Yeah.
But it's your honeymoon phase. I can, you know, yes, maybe you've been living together for years, but it's still your honeymoon after your wedding. It's like a new start.
Mm-hmm. A new start.
So I just don't understand this. We want your opinion.
Yes. What do you guys think? So some of the quotes in here, you could go by yourself on a vacation, but never a honeymoon, one woman said. Who are you supposed to make love to? Who are you supposed to kiss and caress? And another one says, it's different if afterwards maybe you want to take a girls' trip and you and your girlfriends go and they go do a golf thing or whatever, but not your honeymoon. So there's just another view of life with your partner. It's very, I wouldn't call it a honeymoon at all. It's not.
Why would you even do that? Why would you get married to go on separate honeymoons?
Yeah. Vacations. Let's just not call it honeymoons.
Yeah. Anyway.
And, you know, even if you're just like sick of that person because you've spent so much time with them, after the wedding, it will change a bit. It really does change your view on that person because you have entered into a different phase with your relationship and you're most likely going to want to spend some time with that person. To
reconnect even. Yeah. I mean, because you're so busy right before the wedding, you and your partner don't have time to connect because there's so much to do. And you see each other on the wedding day and everything's rush, you know, rush here, rush there, you know, meet all these people, greet all these people, let's eat dinner, let's take some pictures, let's cut the cake. You know, all of that's really rushed. And so when you get to the honeymoon, you and your partner can just...
Mm-hmm.
You know, you take a few days to not do anything.
That's right.
You know, stay in your room, binge on some TV, make love. Hello, that's what you're supposed to do on a honeymoon. I don't know. That's just weird to me.
It is weird.
Yes, later on down the line, because see, me and my husband, we don't vacation well together. Because we are two totally different people on vacation. He wants to lay around and do nothing. But I'm going to this new place that I haven't ever seen before, and I want to go see things.
Mm-hmm.
So we have to compromise. We have a day of rest, a day of sightseeing, and a day of rest, and a day of sightseeing. So, you know.
Mm-hmm. That's exactly right.
Yeah.
So let us know. Email us at info@fromringtoveil.com or text, don't text us.
No, please don't.
Message us on Facebook or on Instagram or however you listen to us. And let us know, what do you think of these solo moons?
Yeah. Or a comment on the post. You know,
yes.
That's an easy way to do it too. We have a listener question next.
Yay, listener question. Hey ladies, I love the podcast. I've been binge listening since I got engaged. I love your interviews, but also enjoy when you two just chat. Thank you. I'm sorry if this question has This already has been a question. I tried to search it within the group. My mom and I are not close. My fiancé and I have planned and are paying for our wedding. My mom wants to be involved and has even bought shirts for 2 of the guys in the wedding party without telling us, in a different color than the rest of the wedding party will be wearing. After I found out, I called the 2 guys and told them not to worry. The shirts they had already were what we wanted and matches everybody.
So we planned it so we could have the wedding we want. She is intent on being involved somehow. Any ideas how to solve this? I've heard suggestions like flowers or something, but that's already taken care of. And I'm anticipating a blowout with us or my sister, who lives with her and her refusal to come to the wedding. This is not uncommon. She left my sister's graduation party because my sister invited her half brother.
Oh my gosh.
If she does not come, besides the initial awkwardness with my family and my stepdad, who I'm close to, I don't think it would bother me. In fact, I hope it happens before the wedding rather than at the wedding. Any advice or possible solutions are much appreciated. So she's your mom. Yes, we all sometimes have trouble with our parents. If she wants to be involved in something, give her something to do. Something small, like maybe your side of the family hasn't had a bridal shower. Give her something to plan, maybe a dinner. Just something that she could feel involved with. It doesn't have to be anything pertaining to the actual wedding.
What I'm interested in is, and maybe this is just too much and it doesn't even need to go there, is if you guys are not close, why is she even wanting to be involved? You know what I mean? Like,
maybe she's trying to get back in your favor.
Maybe, yeah. Or maybe she's trying to stick it to you. Who knows? I'm just wondering what her intentions are and why. Why would she buy something important to the wedding like these shirts and not even tell you about it? That just does not make sense to me. So I would talk to her and see if you could find something else that she could do, or just ask her if she would like to monetarily. Maybe you don't even want that. This is a hard one because she just is insinuating herself into this situation. You know what I mean? Without even asking.
Yeah.
But you're right. Just try to find a place for her and try to find something that she can do. And you probably don't want her greeting people.
Yeah.
If it's going to be a big deal.
If you have like maybe a bridal luncheon that you're going to do like with your bridesmaids or something, maybe she can pay for that or, plan that or something. Just give her something small. And if you're going to have you don't want to have a blowout right before your wedding because that gets hurt feelings and, more drama and people show up uninvited.
As you've heard. Yeah, totally. And maybe you could go dress shopping with her and that will make her feel a little more involved or something.
Yeah. And go find her a mother of the bride dress or something.
Yes.
She's planning on still coming. Pamper her, make her feel a little bit needed for one.
Good luck with this. Really, really good luck with this.
I don't like family drama.
I know. And it's hard because we're not like psychologists or anything like that.
We can only give you our opinions and, don't you take it with a grain of salt or whatever. But we're not psychologists. We don't know how to handle your family drama. Mm-hmm.
We appreciate the question for sure, though. Yeah. And we hope for the best. We hope it doesn't happen at the wedding. Oh my gosh. I hope it doesn't go that way. Anyway, so that's all we have for you today, which I think was a lot, right? Yeah. Questions, comments, please get a hold of us. info@fromringtoveil.com.
Next week's episode is going to be about wedding traditions. So if you want some info on that, stay tuned. Episode 210 is going to be a very special episode. Kim and I have made some decisions and we'll announce them on that show. So stay tuned.
And if you're looking to buy some FRTV swag to support the show, you can find that at fromringtoveil.com/TEE. You can also find things like your Bridal Tribe t-shirts or pillows or tote bags, even shirts for the mom of the bride and mom of the groom. Check it out from ringtoveil.com/TEE.
Don't forget about our Facebook group, the From Ring to Veil Wedding Planning Community.
And subscribe to the podcast. Anywhere you listen to podcasts, we're on everywhere from Apple Podcasts to Google Podcasts and beyond.
Until next time, no stress, no worries, keep calm, and listen on.
Music provided by bensound.com.